Welcome back to another session of Class 10 Mathematics, Chapter 1 Real Numbers. In this session, we'll be discussing about the irrational numbers and how to prove root 2, root 3, etc. are irrational numbers. You have studied in Class 9 in detail about rational numbers and irrational numbers. So I'll just revise that what are the rational numbers and irrational numbers here. And we know that the real numbers are divided into two sections: real number system. Real numbers is divided into rational or irrational. Rational, irrational. How they are divided, how they are classified? So it is classified according to whether they can be expressed in the form of p by q or not. If they are able to express in the form of p by q, where q not equal to 0 as a fraction, so such numbers are called rational numbers. And if we cannot express in the form of p by q, so it is called irrational number. So there are numbers, we know that there are numbers which we cannot express in the form of p by q. Examples you studied in class 9, root 2, root 3, root 5 are the examples. Pi is a irrational number, and decimal, some type of decimal numbers are also irrational numbers. So the definition of the irrational number is a number S is called irrational if it cannot be written in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. So it is in the case of fraction. And in the case of decimal expansion, all the decimal expansions can be divided into two. So terminating or non-terminating. Terminating, non-terminating. All terminating decimal expansions are rational numbers. So all terminating are rational numbers. Any terminating decimal expansions can be expressed in the form of p by q, that you already studied in class 9, how to convert a decimal number into p by q form. Now non-terminating, again there are two cases. In non-terminating, we can see that the recurring and non-recurring. Recurring means repeating. Non-recurring. So recurring means some pattern will be repeated, some block will be repeated again and again and again. The decimal expansion is non-terminating. There is no end to the decimal expansion. Example 2.393939, like that 39 block will be repeated. So all the recurring decimal expansion and non-terminating recurring decimal expansions are rational numbers. This also you know how to convert a non-terminating recurring decimal expansion to p by q form. And when it is a non-terminating non-recurring decimal expansion, there is no numbers recurring, a block is not repeated, so such numbers are irrational numbers. So either in the form of p by q or from the decimal expansion, we can identify whether a number is a rational number or irrational number. Now, before going to the questions, prove that root 2 is irrational, we should know the method of proving root 2 is irrational. The method is called the method of contradiction, proving by the method of contradiction. The method of contradiction is, in this one, we, instead of going in a correct path, will move through a wrong path and say that it is wrong. So we have a way, a destination here. This is our actual destination and this is our way. But in between you can see another way, so you are confused with here, to go to this one or this one. Only two options are there, okay, two cases. This is the correct destination and this is the wrong destination, but this is very short and this is very long. The correct destination is long and the wrong destination is very short. So what we'll do, instead of going to the long destination, we'll go to the incorrect incorrect path. Okay, so actually we need to prove root 2 is irrational. So instead of directly proving root 2 is irrational, we'll go, this is, so this is the way root 2 is irrational. This is a very long way, but we'll go in another way. Root 2 is rational. We need to prove root 2 is irrational, but we'll go root 2 is rational. So we'll assume root 2 is a rational and we'll see that there is something wrong because we'll reach in a wrong destination. We'll reach in a contradiction. Contradiction means what we started, and we'll get a statement which is entirely against the beginning statement. So this is the method of contradiction. Okay, now we'll move on to the question. Before moving to prove root 2 is irrational, we need to check a very important theorem. The theorem says that let P be a prime number. If P divides A square, then P divides A, where A is a positive integer. So here, most of the students get confused with the word P divides A square. What it means? P divides A square, divides. So we can see with example. 2 divides 4. 2 divides 4 means if you are dividing 4 with 2, the remainder will be 0. 4 divided by 2. So the quotient, we know the quotient is 2 and remainder is 0. So when remainder is 0, we say that 2 divides 4. That means in another way, we can say that 2 is a factor of 4 or 4 is a multiple of 2. So the same P divides A square can be concluded 2 is a factor of 4 or 4 is a multiple of 2. Another example, 5 divides 20. 5 divides 20 means when you divide 20 with 5. 20 divided by 5. So 4 times 4 5s are 20. 0. The remainder is 0. So when the remainder is 0, we say that 5 divides 20. Or in other way, we can say that 5 is a factor of 20 or 20 is a multiple of 5. In this theorem, P divides A. When we get P divides A, so we can change the wording like P is a factor of A or A is a multiple of P. Okay, so using this, we can make a small change in the wordings of the theorem. To make the sentence very clear, we can make a small changes in the wordings of the theorem. So the theorem can be written as, let P be a prime number. If P is a factor of A square, then P is a factor of A. That means the theorem says that if 2 is a factor of 64, factor of 64 is the 8 square, right? So 2 is a factor of 8 square, then 2 is a factor of 8. Is it true, right? So it is true for every numbers, every positive integers. If a number is a factor of its square, if P is a factor of A square, then P is a factor of A. So if you find difficult to understand the word divides, you can use factor of or you can use multiple of. So if A square is a multiple of P, then A is a multiple of P. You can use like that also. Now we'll move to prove root 2 is irrational to the question. Now look at the question, prove that root 2 is irrational. And this part is one of the very important part of this chapter. So you must learn how to prove either root 2 or root 3 or root 5 is irrational. You can expect any one of the question for examination. So we'll start, and we already discussed the method of contradiction. So in method of contradiction, the statement is the prove that root 2 is irrational. We'll go in a wrong way. So we'll assume that it is not irrational. If it is not irrational, there is only one way remaining, that is rational. So we'll start with assume root 2 is rational. Now, what is the definition of rational number? Any rational number can be written in the form of P by Q. Therefore, root 2 can be expressed as P by Q, Q not equal to 0. The denominator of any fraction should not be equal to 0 because the division by 0 is not defined. P by Q, Q not equal to 0, and P and Q are co-prime. What do you mean by co-prime numbers? Co-prime means no common factors other than 1. So two numbers, if 8 and 10 are not co-prime numbers because 2 is a common factor, but 8 and 9 are co-prime numbers because there is no common factors other than 1. So co-prime means only one as common factor. Only one as common factor. The a pair of numbers which have 1 as the common factor is called Couperet number. We'll see that P and Q does not have any common factors. Now root 2 is equal to P by Q. So we'll multiply Q to this side. So we'll get root 2 times Q is equal to P squaring. So we'll square on both sides, squaring both sides of the equation. So squaring both sides of the equation, we'll get 2Q square is equal to P square, right? Just 2Q square equal to P square. So P square is equal to 2 times Q square. And 2 times Q square, we know that it is a multiple of 2. So 2 times Q square is a multiple of 2 means P square is a multiple of 2, right? So you can write 2 is a factor of implies 2 is a factor of P square, or you can write 2 divides P square. So both words you can use. So if 2 is a factor of P square, using the previous theorem, you can say that 2 is a factor of P. 2 is a factor of P. Okay. Now, if 2 is a factor of P, that means P is a multiple of 2. So any multiple of 2 can be expressed as a 2 times a number, right? Multiple of 2 means 2 times a number. So P can be written as implies P is equal to 2m for some integer m. For some integer m. Now squaring again. Squaring both sides. So what we'll get? P square equals 4 times m square, right? So we'll get P square is equal to 4 times m square, and we know that P square means 2Q square. So we'll replace P square is equal to 2Q square. That means implies 2Q square is equal to 4m square. So you can cancel, divide throughout by 2. Dividing throughout by 2 will get Q square is equal to 2m square. This implies Q square equals 2m square. Then we know that 2m square is a multiple of 2m. Q square is a multiple of 2. That means 2 is a factor of Q square, right? Q square is a number which gives a multiple of 2 times m square. So there is a 2 is a factor of Q square. Implies, using the previous theorem, 2 is a factor of Q, right? 2 is a factor of Q and 2 is a factor of P, which contradicts our statement P and Q are coprane. So we assumed, we started our statement with P and Q are coprane numbers, but we got 2 is a common factor. So it is a contradiction, right? A contradiction. So it won't match. So there is some problem. So all our steps are correct, but even after we got a contradicting statement, that means the only thing which can be wrong is our assumption is wrong. We started with it in a wrong way, so our assumption is wrong. So assumption is wrong. So what is the correct assumption then? Then the correct statement is, if our assumption is wrong, there is only another way of remaining, that is root 2 is irrational. Therefore root 2 is irrational. So you understood this? That's all for this video. And very important, another question is root 3 is rational. That is there in the textbook as an example. You can try that as an homework. And the exercise 2.3 will be discussed in the next video. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.